Hello, my monstrosities. Hello once again. Today I bring to you a DbD Trickster add-on tier list, with 7.4 coming out around the corner, where Trickster got, some would say, mega buffed, and some are kind of sad that it's not the buff that we saw on the PTB, but still better than nothing. I figured it's time that I put out my add-on tier list, given how much I complained about people being concerned about the wrong ones. So, we're going to go through the add-ons, put them in a tier list, as people do. I've brought up the dev update so I can refer back to which add-ons are getting changed further than from what we just saw. And we're also going to make it so that I have this to kind of fact check myself. So let's get into it. First up, we have Bloody Boa. I'd personally say this is F tier, as you need to understand your own knife economy, and having extra knives doesn't really help. You fall into the trap of just, well, I'm just going to throw a bunch of blades at people. And I think I know that's what a lot of people think that's all there is to Trickster. However, it's just not the case. If you just try to throw a bunch of knives at people until they're down, and you're going to the point where you're always running out and you need the extra eight, you're not going to be well off. However, if you are just beginning and you aren't understanding that you aren't Huntress, you can't really just go between multiple chases in which you don't reload, I'd give it a D overall. Then we have, just to make sure that I say the right name, Edge of Revival album. This will make it so that blades will shatter when hitting the environment. I'm going to just kind of get this out of the way. We're going to put probably all of the purples in S tier. So with that, we have Trick Blades in S tier, causes blades to ricochet off the environment a total of 2 times. As a revival, causes blades to shatter when hitting the environment, adding zero point 0.5 charges to the laceration meter of nearby survivors. Diamond Cufflinks, the auras of survivors 1 hit away from maximum laceration are revealed to you for 6 seconds and cut through you. Causes blades to pierce through the first survivor they hit and continue traveling. Any second survivor hit only receives zero point 0.5 charges to their laceration meter. Why would I put these four all in S tier? Well, if you're getting main event more often, that means that you are proccing these even more dangerously. Now, I'll want to put out right now, because I still get this question, if you played that 1 week that it was on like live servers from a bug, that I still see this a lot. You can no longer stack Cut Through You and Edge of Revival to get massive amounts of laceration, where you like kind of just aim for right above their feet and then it explodes, and yada yada yada. You can no longer do that. It's no longer in the game. However, let's talk about each one. And well, I'll say that if you combo them sometimes, some ways, it'll be pretty snasty. Cut Through You, we'll take it from, I guess, the top of this right here. Piercing through survivors already, it's kind of meme. However, if main event is going to happen more often, sometimes people are bold enough, if they're good enough, to try to take hits for their friends. Yeah, this is not going to be good for them. But more importantly, and more dangerously, unhook situations. Now, on the PTB, I did note that I did feel that it takes 8 knives to get, that it will take 8 knives to get a laceration hit. I did note that. So, with this, you kind of really don't have to worry about that, especially when you have main event proc. It's just going to go through people smooth like butter. So be on the lookout for this. Then Diamond Cufflinks. The auras of survivors one hit away from maximum laceration are revealed to you for 6 seconds. I'm honestly going to putting this kind of an S because the new death throws is kind of a B. So let's go there. This will make it so that reveal the aura of survivors hit during main event for 6 seconds. You kind of already have that effect here without needing main event. So seems kind of pointless. So that's pretty much why Diamond Cufflinks is so high comparatively because it's a decent effect. Oh, they actually updated the wiki to give all of this information. Cool. Um, I guess I don't need this, but yeah, uh, it's seeing people is already nice, but I can already see people here, so do I really need it there? Then we go down to Edge of Revival. Causes blades to shatter when hitting the environment, adding zero point 0.5 charges to the laceration meter of nearby survivors. Yeah, if people already felt that they couldn't really get away and they were hiding behind things, and then you add main event that you get infinite knives for a set amount of time. Yeah, I think we really need to be considerate of Edge of Revival album. And then finally, Trick Blades. Oh, Trick Blades. And that's all I'm going to say. Then we go on to Cage Heart Shoes. Let's just double check, just for anybody that wants to see. Increases your movement speed and the throw state by zero point 0.1 meters per second. Garbage. Don't even run this as a beginner. There, you need to understand that you shouldn't be really holding your knives while not throwing, and if you are throwing, it's without throwing. You shouldn't be holding your knives too much without throwing, and if you are throwing, you should just be throwing because if you're not throwing, you're throwing the game. But seriously, this is bad practice. You're not going to get the value you think you do. It's not a good habit to have. Don't use this. And I'm not even going to try to make a better argument because don't use it. Then we have Fish Spin Soda. This is a personal favorite for mine and the current live, but in the future it will increase the time before a combo ends during main event by 10%. Now, what we did learn is that they're making it so that during main event you get a combo meter, so if you hit a bunch of knives, you go up in grade, starting at a letter and finishing at S, and that'll give you more time at your next main event, if I remember correctly. I should fact check that too. It's a very minor thing. So, that being said, unfortunately, it feels bad to move Fishbin Soda down this low to F, but you won't be running it even though I've run it for so long. So goodbye to an old friend. Then we'll go to the Browns. We have Inferno Wires. Extends the duration of main event by 25%. People seem to like extending the duration of main event with 7.4 Trickster. Now, mind you, that's not on live. That was just PTB where you were already throwing at 4 uh, blades per second outside of main event, so on and so forth. If you have a built-in mechanic to extend the duration of main event, I think we'll be fine. But I can understand stacking this with the other one to get some good value out of it. So I'll put it in. Now we'll put it in C. B's a little bit too high for that. Then we have the iridescent photocard. Grants a stackable 1% haste status effect up to a maximum of 7 for each consecutive blade hit, and then that is lost upon damaging a survivor. This got changed from the PTB version, where it was until that person goes down, you had the haste, and I still said that was stupid. If you thought that you were going to, the 7 isn't even an injury. It takes 8 to get the injure, so you were going to become a 122 baddie for the rest of Chase for no reason. It was so dumb. It was so dumb. But hey, that's neither here nor there. With it being nerfed on top of that, it's a little bit better than Bloody Boa. It's fun. And the minor power, like the minor, like 1% haste, 2% haste, if you get two in a row, three, yada yada, for like split seconds, that those shifts in speed can catch you up to some decent things in the moment where it catch people off guard. I'll give it I'll give it B, and we'll even put it above Death Throes. It's better than K-Sart Shoes, better than better than Bloody Boa, excuse me, better than Inferno Wire, so I guess we'll finish at B. I'm not quite convinced that it's A tier anymore, especially since you kind of need to redo it. Like, you weren't holding it, but here's where I think the change makes more sense in this ranking. Where before, yeah, if you landed two consecutive knives to finish it off, like you hit them for six, missed one, finished it off, got the 1-2, and then they were injured, and you're now stacking it up. So you're carrying the two into the three and four on to the next health state, then it would be a little bit more applicable. However, if it resets completely now at health state individually, which means that, yeah, if you got two and you were only 2%, you're back to 0% and then have to start over. So we finish out with a B. Then we go over to G Wounds Autograph. Increases the time before a combo ends during the main event by 15%. Yep, that's a hot F. And then we go to another brown with the killing part cores, increases your movement speed in the throw state by 0.04 meters per second. That's a hot F. And before you're thinking about it, no, don't stack these to make it slightly better. 0.14. Not worth. And then we have Lucky Blade, increasing the duration of main event by zero point 0.3 seconds for each successful blade hit. Personally, I think this won't be too bad. If you're getting main event so often, I think it won't be too. No, that's too high. I think it won't be too bad. It'll be better than this. There we go. Thank you. It'll be better than that in the sense that you have a mechanic that'll make your main event longer anyway. It's at 5 now in the 7.4 update coming out. So sometimes you can use the extra time, however, it is still main event where certain tiles just are not your friend. So, do I always want to extend it? No, but sometimes I do, especially at unhook moments. So, you can run it every now and again for some spice of life. Then we have Melodious Murder. Reduces the reload time at lockers by 20%. I love it, still do, but I'd feel like a hypocrite if I gave it an A because what I criticized before in the past with the buff to reload speed for Huntress and Trickster at lockers by 1 second is that if I have to reload 20 times in a match, that effectively saved me 20 seconds, which is one third of a minute out of an entire match, right? But I still had to walk all the way to a locker, so on and so forth. Now, with this, yeah, I'll probably still run it with Iron Maiden, maybe. However, I'm getting main event so often that I probably don't need to reload as often. So if I only reload 5 times in a match, I does this work percentage in my head? If it were if it's 1/5 of the time and then 5 times have saved the time of reloading once, I guess. Does that math? I feel like that math doesn't math the way I think it does. Um, every fifth reload, I'm saved it by one, maybe. I don't know. Previously, I put this in S. I guess. I don't. I don't know, man. I guess I'll put it in A. I guess I'll put it at an A. Just for my own peace of mind because I love it. I'll put it at an A. I can't have both of them be too low. My two favorites. Then we have Memento Blades. Increases the throw rate of blades by 5%. I'm still worried about this, if I'm being honest with you. I think that for a brown, I think I'm going to actually consider rarity on this one. For a brown, it doesn't sound too bad. It doesn't sound too bad. You definitely can form bad habits though. So let me knock it down a peg. Let me knock it down. Let's see. Let's do that one. That feels a little bit better. Then we have the on target single, which increases the decay delay of the laceration meter by 2 seconds. It's okay. It's kind of where you are with Bloody Boa, where you need to be learning the power, but if you're just kind of there, eh. Then we have Ripper Brace, right? Increases the decay delay of the laceration meter by 3 seconds. Same thing, same reason. You should not probably be learning the power enough to get your own fears for things, but if you're starting out, it's not the worst. Then we have Tequila Moon Rock. Increases the duration of main event by 50%. Now, this is a bigger number than this one. Well, we'll put it in B. So, you know, I think that's fair. Then we have a few more additional blades, right? Oh, gotta go up to the Browns. Yes, Trick Pouch increases the number of carry blades by 4. I'd say only run it if you're also still running Bloody Boa and you're trying to get a feel for it so you have 12 additional knives. Otherwise, it'd be an F alone. But I think it's still better than F, though, if I'm being honest with you. Bringing the total to 48 knives, not too bad. And then finally, we end on Waiting for You Watch, which increases the duration of main event by zero point 0.4 seconds for each successful blade hit. I'd say that's do 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 do. We're going to put it on 8 because that's where I finished out on that little ditty. Um, I'll be honest, it can be better than these in situations. It can be worse. For green, it's fine. So I think that's kind of where I'm leaning towards, where it'll be better than something we already have on a watered down effect. The haste resetting upon injury is kind of knocking it down from A. So yeah, I think that's where we finish off the list. So, to recap, all the purples, I've already put them in S. Huh. Melodious Murder and Wait for You Watch. Waiting for You, sorry. Can't, can't shorthand it for anybody that's new and really needs to know. Waiting for You Watch. And A, both of the Eries in B with Tequila Moon Rock. You got some yellow and brown in C, which is interesting that we have more green and yellow in D than we do in C, with the brown to finish off that row, and a nice little splattering of yellow with a green and brown in F. That is my Trickster add-on tier list. I know people aren't going to agree, but we'll see, especially when everything hits on live. If you're going to be upsetty spaghetti with me in the comments on predictions, and maybe tone it down a little, maybe just give your take on it. But yeah, that's where we're at with Trickster's add-ons coming up in 7.4. If you like the video, like it, got a comment for me, comment, and until next time, peace out, my monstrosities.